Switchcraft is brought to you live 3 times a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern and on Saturday at whatever time I can get to it. Tune in live over at twitch.tv/runjumpstomp. This episode of Switchcraft is brought to you by patrons like you. If you are looking to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/runjumpstomp. Once you're there, for as little as $1, you can support the show and get access to a bonus podcast as well. Again, that URL is patreon.com/runjumpstomp. There we go. That's much better. All right, file. Save project. SC252. If it's worth doing 12 times. That's right. That's what I always say. Episode 252 of Switchcraft is also brought to you by OP Seat. Head on over to runjumpstomp.com/OP Seat. I'm sitting in one right now. Fantastic gaming chair that can support you. And by buying one using my link, you are supporting the show. They're really, really comfortable. I just got this brand new one that they sent me after being on their podcast, which, by the way, tomorrow, Friday, the 19th at 6 p.m. U.S. Eastern, I'm going to be on their podcast. We already recorded it, so it's not going to be live. It's just that they're showing off the video on that day. So in order to check out that podcast, make sure you head on over to twitch.tv/OPSeat at 6 p.m. U.S. Eastern. You can figure out what time zone that is for you, or what time it is in your time zone, I suppose is the better way to say it. And again, that URL is twitch.tv/OPSeat. And if you like what you see and you want to support them and support me at the same time, and you want to pick up an awesome gaming chair, again, the URL to buy a gaming chair and save $10 off your order is runjumpstomp.com/OPSeat. Hey, Fluffy188. Dab on them haters, brah. I'm like an old man, so that stuff goes right over my head. I really don't think I've got haters. At least not many. I'm a little warm in here. Echo, turn on the air conditioning. Echo, stop. All right. Let's begin. Stick it to the man. Ah, okay. There we go. Thank you for the translation, sir. Oh, Hyrulean Julian, I just set off your echo. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it, man. So the Dark Souls reviews are in, and for Dark Souls, I'm talking about the first game. It has now been revamped, remade, and released on the Nintendo Switch, and the reviews are in, and for the most part, it sounds like the game is pretty good. Now, I have not really been interested in picking up Dark Souls Remastered for the Nintendo Switch, and it's not because I didn't think that they would do a good job on the port. It really has a lot more to do with the fact that I played Dark Souls 3 and I got really frustrated at the game. And one of the things that really frustrated me, one of the things about that game that pushed me away was the fact that you can't pause the game. You can't pause the game. And that drove me crazy. I'm an old man. I've got a family. I've got 1,000 things to do around the house. And if I am playing a game, I need to be able to, at any time, hit the pause button, get up and go do something, and then come back and play again later. And when I was playing Dark Souls 3, I've got it on Steam on my PC. When I was playing Dark Souls 3, I couldn't pause the game. And I thought that that was a really bad move on their part. Now, I understand why they decided to make the game unpausable. I totally get their reasoning. Their reasoning is that this is supposed to be a very hardcore experience. This is supposed to be an extremely difficult game. So difficult that they even took out pausing. But on the Nintendo Switch, you can pause it. You can't hit the the plus button and pause it. But what you can do is on the very top of your Switch, right there next to my pinky, there is a power button. And you just put it in sleep mode, and that pauses the game. And I think that that's fantastic because now I have no problem. Well, I haven't picked up the game yet, but I assume that I'm going to have no problem playing that game because I'll be sitting down to play. I'll be like, "Oh, I got 10, 15 minutes to play," and I sit down and I start doing something, and then suddenly, family stuff happens. Suddenly I get a message that my podcast is no longer found on Google Play for some reason. So I got to stop what I'm doing and fix that. That happened, by the way. I'll talk about that in a second. Now I could just hit the sleep button on the Switch, and that will effectively pause the game so I can come back to it later. And I don't feel like this is cheating, and I understand their reasoning for wanting to make the game unpausable, but I completely and vehemently disagree with that decision as being a good decision. In fact, I think it's a downright really, really bad decision to do that. So I'm really happy that you're now able to pause Dark Souls Remastered on the Switch. And if I end up picking up Dark Souls Remastered on the Switch and enjoying it, and sorry if I just made a bunch of noise, I bumped the microphone. If I'm enjoying it, then I'll definitely continue to play the rest of the series on the Switch where pausing the game is an option. J Hartley 17 is asking, what happens if you hit the home button? I don't know because I don't have the game. Hopefully somebody in chat is able to answer that question for you. And if we don't get an answer by the end of the show, what I'll do is hopefully somebody can tweet at me and let me know, or you can email me. So in fact, I'll just let you know all the different ways that you can get a hold of me. You can email me, runjumpstomp@gmail.com. You can tweet at me at runjumpstomp. You can join our Discord over at runjumpstomp.com/Discord. And you can come hang out with us on the Twitch stream as well at twitch.tv/runjumpstomp. You can even call and leave a voicemail at 260-RUN-JUMP. That's 260-786-5867. So if you know the answer to Jay Hartley's question, what happens in Dark Souls Remastered if you hit the home button? Does it pause the game? Please let me know. That would be something I would definitely like to hear about. All right, so Dark Souls Remastered, it's getting really good reviews. Right now, it's got an 85 on Metacritic. I don't really like Metacritic in general. I don't like numbered scores, but I do see it as a useful tool to find out if a game is generally enjoyed or generally not enjoyed. I think it's fair to use that. The reason I don't like it is because the way that certain developers tie bonuses to how high your game rates on ranks on Metacritic. So if you get a 90 on Metacritic, some developers will end up getting like a huge bonus. If you get an 89, you get nothing. And I find that to be ridiculous because who's to say what is the difference between an 89 and a 90? Just because a game gets a 75 and another game gets a 76, that doesn't mean that the 76 is necessarily a better game. So I'm not a huge fan of Metacritic, and I just feel like I should explain that before I start talking about all of the really good scores that Dark Souls Remastered is getting on Metacritic. So it's got an 85 right now, and CG Magazine is giving it a 95. Metro Game Central is a 90. US Gamers a 90. The lowest score that I see on here is from everyeye.it, which I've never heard of them, but that doesn't mean that they're wrong. Generally, people are really enjoying Dark Souls, and having played 200 hours or more of Breath of the Wild and playing on hard mode in Breath of the Wild as well, I'm certainly not saying that I'm ready for Dark Souls now, but I'm saying that I understand the, what's the word I'm looking for? I understand the pull of a game like that. Like, there were lots of times where I was playing Breath of the Wild and I would be fighting like a golden Lionel? That's not Lionel. What the hell are they called? Anyway, the lion dudes with the horse feet and the bow and arrows and stuff. I think they're called Lionels. You know, there'd be a time where I'm fighting a silver one or a gold one and it would just destroy me, and I'd keep bashing my head against the wall over and over and over until I was able to kill it. And I had a lot of fun doing that. And I think that that's the kind of gameplay that I can expect from Dark Souls Remastered, just based on my experience with Dark Souls 3. So I'm excited that it's doing so well. And I think it might be something to add to my Christmas list or my birthday list, because my birthday's coming up in a couple weeks. And, maybe my wife will pick that up for me. That being said, if that doesn't happen, I'll probably end up buying it because I really am happy to hear how well it's doing. So that's in 2 episodes, that's the second game that I was completely not expecting to be interested in, and now I'm really hyped for it. The other one was on last episode. I was talking about how everybody really, really likes Starlink, and Starlink is doing so well, and now I'm suddenly interested in it, and now Dark Souls is doing the same thing, and that the whole being able to pause it is a huge deal for me. I'm very curious for people who've played Dark Souls Remastered on platforms like the PS4 or the Xbox One, and you've also played it on the Nintendo Switch. I'm very curious as to how those two compare. Obviously, the graphics will probably be, well, I don't even know. Like, will the graphics be less than on Dark Souls? That's the question, because the original Dark Souls is like an old game. I'm not sure how the graphics compare between the two, but if you know, then pick one of those ways that I mentioned earlier and get a hold of us and let us know what you think, and I'll talk about it on the show. Let's see. Oh, Res TV, nice reference to oh my god, what is the name of that movie? Soul, no. Shoot. I can't remember it. That's a really Spinal Tap. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. That scene with what's his name? Rob Reiner, and he's like, "Well, but this one, just have it go to 10." And they're like, "But 11's one better." That's awesome. That 78 Degrees episode was evil. Are you talking about yesterday's because it was broken? Is that what you mean, Resd? Oh, yeah, I'm a jerk. Yeah, and by the way, if you're watching right now and you don't... Mm, should I just record this? Yeah, I'm going to record this. So before I get to the next story, I just want to take a second, do a quick PSA. For anybody that doesn't know, I've got another podcast called 78 Degrees, which you can check out over at runjumpstomp.com/78 degrees. And you spell out DEGREES. Um, so if you didn't know, I've got another podcast. It's me and my buddy Richard. We talk about whatever we feel like. Yesterday we were supposed to record our episode, but he's kind of getting over, he just had an operation, and he was trying to be a trooper and record with me, but we ran into all kinds of technical issues, most of which were my fault. But I think that we've got everything worked out, but that means that we're not going to have an episode of 78 Degrees this week. And that's because by the time we had figured everything out, like, he had just been sitting in that chair for too long, and his back was hurting him, and he just wanted to go lay down. So even though we got everything fixed, we're not going to be able to record. He and I were going to try and record later on this week, but between me having other stuff to do, and him not being able to, being 5 hours ahead of me, we just couldn't work out a time when we were going to do it. So putting in chat says, I love how you tell everyone how to spell degrees, but don't specify that 78 is a number and not letters. Oh my God, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it's runjumpstomp.com/78 degrees. I'm so dumb. I can't believe that I never thought of that. All right, let's move on and talk about Nintendo news. Let's see who sent this in. This was at Wyvern Rip Snarl. He's a community member on our community Discord, and he dropped a couple of stories into our Discord for me to talk about on the show. The first one is about Pokemon Let's Go, featuring Master Trainers. So it's a trailer that was posted on Game Explain, and this is actually kind of interesting. So basically, the way that it works is, in the game you can go and find these Master Trainers, and these are trainers who have focused on only one Pokemon, and you can find them and then challenge them. And then once you challenge them, it's a one-on-one fight. So you pick one Pokemon and you fight against, and I think that you're both using the same Pokemon. So if they're a Bulbasaur master, then you have to fight with a Bulbasaur. So you'll have to probably go out, level up your Bulbasaur, bring them in, and fight against their Bulbasaur. And if you win, first off, they're going to have weird attacks, they said, things that you don't expect them to usually have. But if you win at the end, you will have like a title, Bulbasaur Master, so, or something like that. And they kind of hinted at that there's a bunch of them out there, and you can go out, find these guys, challenge them, and get all of the titles, which I think is kind of cool. You know, Pokemon, for me, and I'm only talking having played a couple of the games, but for me, that game has always really been about collecting all of the things. I've never been competitive with it. I never played the game online, other than just doing trades. I just want to collect all the stuff. And for me, that's what that game is all about. And this just adds a little bit more for you to collect, which I think is really, really cool. Wyvern also sent in a link with some Super Smash Brothers Ultimate menu theme music. So it sounds really, really cool, and I'm not going to sit here and talk about the music, but it's definitely something you're going to want to check out. It's just a YouTube video, and you can hear the music. It sounds really good. Not a huge surprise. Smash has always had really awesome music, and they really have focused heavily on bringing music into this particular one. With, I think that there's like 90 songs or something. No, not 90. It's like 900 songs or some crazy amount of songs in Smash Brothers Ultimate. Now, the one thing I will say, and I've said this before, is I wish that there was a download of Super Smash Brothers Ultimate that didn't have all that music. And it's not that I'm against having the music, it's that I would like it to be optional because that music takes up a lot of room and that game's like 16 gigs. So I would like to have a smaller version if you get what I'm saying. We've got two more quick stories, well maybe three. Valkyria Chronicles is out for the Nintendo Switch. I got a review copy. I played it a little bit of it, not very much, and I enjoyed it. It's exactly like it used to be. In fact, I would say it is a 100% perfect copy of the original from what I played. Played really well, and I enjoyed what I played. I've still got Valkyria Chronicles 4 to play through, so we'll see how much time I actually get to spend on it. But they did a good job on this port. They did a really good job on the port. Secondly, Super Mario Odyssey. We've got new DLC. Don't get excited though, because it's just a costume. It's a zombie costume. I think the zombie costume is cool. It's Mario with like an axe in his head. I'm gonna bring it up now for the people watching the video. It looks really awesome. He's got the same lifeless eyes that that Luigi has in that Smash Smash Direct, where Luigi was killed by death. I think that this costume looks really good. That being said, I'm certainly not excited for it. What I would be excited for is more levels, like more worlds for you to go through and collect stuff. This is a really short news week. In fact, we're late recording because I got home from work and I was like, all right, it's time to find some news to talk about, and there was like nothing there. It's a really slow news week. So I'm all done. But before I go, I did receive a review copy of Save Me, Mr. Taco. I have not loaded it up yet. I still have to do the my first play. So make sure you check out my YouTube channel over at runjumpstomp.com slash no, at youtube.com/runjumpstomp. And I'll try and get to that today or tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly when. And I also got a review copy of Jackbox Party Pack 5, which, if you've never played one of the Jackbox games, they are fantastic. Now, this is a game that requires other people to play with. So what I am going to try and do is, as soon as I finish recording the episode, I am going to load it up and I'm going to play with the people who are in chat, and hopefully we'll keep it clean, guys. But I'll also record that, and that'll be my first look, so you can watch that over on YouTube, as long as things don't get too crazy, because I'm not going to post content to YouTube that is unacceptable to me. That being said, I plan on talking about it sometime in the future on the podcast, so make sure you look out for my conversation about Jackbox. I'm really excited to play that. All right, I think that's it. I think it's time to wrap things up. Music for today's episode can be found over at runjumpstomp.com/music. The music from today is by Bulby, and I forgot the name of the song, so I'm trying to find it really quick. Whoops, I went to the wrong directory. It's called Battlefield 8-Bit Remix. It's basically they took the Super Smash Brothers Melee theme song and they redid it in an 8-bit style, and it sounds really cool. So I'm going to include that right now. I'm out of here. I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for listening to the show. Thank you for supporting and heading on over to runjumpstomp.com/thank you. Don't forget that if you want to watch the live shows or, play Jackbox with me, make sure you head on over to twitch.tv/runjumpstomp. Hit that follow button. If you are a Twitch Prime member, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything extra if you're a Twitch Prime member. And let's see, don't forget to subscribe over on my YouTube channel and click on the little bell so that you get notifications when I post new videos. That's it for today. I'm out of here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being awesome. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.